Hello everybody, welcome to another video. Today I am really relaxing in the park because I got my visa for another year. Yay! I'm so happy about that. So I'm sitting in the park. It is really nice. The weather is beautiful. It is winter time, so in the mornings it is very cold, but at the moment it is very lovely. So in the morning it will be like around 12 degrees, and at this moment it is around 23. So I'm very happy about that. Now that I'm living here, I got a lot of questions about why I moved to Brazil and what I am doing all day long. So I thought, let's make a video of the most frequently asked questions. So the first question was, why did I move to Brazil? It's a very interesting story. So I always wanted to move to a different country and see what life is in a different country and how it works and how to make friends and stuff like that. So at one point I was thinking about this and asking God if He would let me know what country I should go to. And I really felt in my heart that it was Brazil. And I didn't know if there was like a special thing that I wanted to do there, but yeah, I really felt in my heart like go to Brazil. So I went to Brazil, and well, actually I still don't know what I'm doing here, but I'm having a lot of fun. So what I'm actually doing here is I'm trying to build a business. And maybe if you follow me on Instagram, you already have seen my other Instagram. So I have two. The first one is the travel one, and I will link it below. And the second one is for my creative studio, where I draw and make illustrations. I do surface design, which means that the designs that I make, the patterns that I make, are available for clothes, for other products, for textile. So that's a lot of fun, so I will also link that below. Another question that I get a lot is, how hard is it to get a visa in Brazil? So it really depends on what kind of visa you want and how hard it is going to be for you to get it. So the first year I got a digital nomad visa. It is a very new visa, and unfortunately it was very complicated to get it renewed. So the first year it was okay. I mean, it took a lot of time and a lot of documents, and some of the documents they actually didn't need. So yeah, that's Brazil for you. But at the moment I have a new visa for another year, and that visa is a student visa. So there is a possibility for you to come on a student visa. Technically it is not that hard, but it is just a lot of documents. So I have been trying to get my student visa for almost 2 months, and finally I got it. So start early. That's my advice. The question is, what do I study? I study Portuguese because I live in Brazil, and here in Brazil we speak Portuguese. We don't speak Spanish. No, we don't. We speak Portuguese. So I have been going to class. For the student visa you have to have at least 15 hours of study. So you can do language school as well. You can go to university. It really depends on what you want to study, what you want to learn. Now that I am studying Portuguese, it is very interesting to see all the different sotaques. That means all the different accents. So Brazil is very big. So it will take you a lot of time to travel from the south, where I am in Curitiba, to the north. And because of the sotaque, the accent is also very different. For me, it is much easier to understand the people here in Curitiba, and it is because there's a lot of influences from Europe. And speaking about language, not everybody here is able to speak in English. There's a lot of people that are not able to speak anything in English, or they are able to speak a little bit in English. There are some people that are more fluent in English, but as you can tell, I'm also not a native speaker. I also make mistakes. So for me, it really doesn't matter if they are good or bad. it's already so much fun that you are able to have a conversation. I just had a little break because somebody came up to me and was asking what I was doing. So I told him, and yeah, this is what happens a lot here. The people are so friendly and it's so easy to make connections here. If you go on the streets, people will talk to you. And for me, it is very funny because the Curitibanos, the people from Curitiba, they told me that they are very different from the center and from the north of Brazil because they are much more cold. And for me, this is so funny because the people in Europe, they are cold. So for me, in comparison, the people in Curitiba are so friendly and it's very easy to make connections. If I need any help, it's very easy to ask for it. So that is really special here. Okay, so another thing that is very different from where I have been growing up is the poverty on the streets. So Brazil is a country with a great divide in a lot of things, but I think in being a poor person and a rich person here, it's like a crazy difference. Here it is very normal to see a lot of people living in the streets, and as I told you, it can be really cold in winter time. And I have seen a lot of governmental programs here where they go into the streets and give out blankets because it can be very cold at night, and these people are just living on the streets. They are begging for money, they're using drugs, and it's very sad to see. And also it feels like you're not able to do something, and sometimes I just want to give something, but the people here they discourage that because they know that the people are buying drugs from it, or it can be dangerous because they want to rob you. And I know this is like a very narrow view, and of course there are people who would never do that while they are living on the street. But of course you have to be very careful in the situation. So the people here, they advised me to become part of an organization that helps them instead of doing something on your own. And especially because I'm living here on my own, it can be very dangerous if I would try to help them individually. You should do something like that in a group always. So be careful. Be careful here. There was also a question related to the other question about poverty, and it is, do you also have a favela in Curitiba? Yes, we do. There is a part of the city that is very unsafe. A lot of people who live there, they are part of organized crime, which is very sad. Of course, I was talking about it earlier. It doesn't mean that everybody is, but there is a part of the community that is in organized crime. So it is very unsafe for you to go there. I know that in Sao Paulo and in Rio de Janeiro, there are some organized tours. For me, it is very weird to participate in one of those, especially because the money that you spend on a tour, it very rarely goes to the people in the favela, in the slums. So for me, this is very strange. It's a very strange way of doing this. And yeah. So another thing about the favela here is that it is not as dangerous as it is in Rio or in Sao Paulo. But still, you have to be very careful if you want to go in. You should always go in when you have connections with a charity or with the government. Another question that I got a lot is, what do you do every day? What is your week looking like? So I'm gonna explain how my week is going to be. So normally on Sundays I go to church. I attend to two different churches. One is PB, it is Baptist church, and they have an English service in the morning, which is really nice. It is easy for me to understand. And then also I'm going to C3, and that one is in the evening, so that is very good for me. It's very easy. And this service is in Portuguese, so I really do need some translation when I am attending there. But luckily there usually is somebody who is able to translate. On Mondays I usually call with some friends, with my dad. In the afternoon I'm working to get my company started. I'm drawing, I'm putting things online, I'm selling things, I'm working on my Instagram. That's what I do also on Tuesday afternoon, but on Tuesday morning I go to school. Usually I go for a couple of hours. I also go on Thursday. Wednesdays I'm working, Thursday I'm working, Friday I'm working, and then of course in the weekends I'm gonna do some fun stuff. I'm visiting some parks, I'm meeting with friends. So it is very normal, it's a normal week. My school is very cool, and the school has a very nice concept where I can just go in and there's no classes, so I have my own material, and there are some teachers there that are able to help me with my material, which is really cool. So sometimes I have the same teacher, sometimes have another teacher, and it also depends on how many people there are. The more people there are, the more teachers there are, and the more chance you have of having a different teacher. But I really love the concept. When I am going to school, there is a really cool local market. It is very close to the school, so usually I will go and get my vegetables there. Sometimes I go on Thursday and Friday to school, so Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and usually on Thursdays or Fridays I will get my vegetables. On Friday I also do my groceries in the supermarket, supermercado. And there's a really awesome one very close to my house. It's called Angeloni, and it's a very fancy one. So I'm very fortunate that it's so large. Most of the things that I'm able to get there are the same as they are in other countries. There are some things that I miss, like I miss chocolate. The chocolate in Europe is really good. So I don't eat a lot of chocolate, but when I do, I get the good chocolate. So I do miss that. And the last question I want to answer in this video is the question, are there things that I miss in food? Yes, of course, there are things that I really miss. One of the things that I really miss is pine nuts. It is not, I'm not able to get it here, and if I do see it, it is so crazy expensive that I don't want to spend my money on that. So I never buy something like this. Some other seeds like poppy seeds, they are also very expensive, so I don't buy them. Cheese, I miss cheese. Cheese in the Netherlands is so freaking good. And what I also miss is kroephoek. Yes, I miss kroephoek. It is an Indonesian snack. It is very easy to buy in the Netherlands. And somebody from the Netherlands who came here, I'm in a group of people from the Netherlands, and he asked us if he could bring anything, and he brought some unfried kroephoek, and I was so happy about that. Those are the things that I miss. Let me think, are there more things that I miss in food? I mean, the vegetables here are very good. The fruits that they have here, there are so many different ones that are not available in Europe, and I really love that. So yeah, I think for the rest, I think I'm good. I like it here. And now I am going to enjoy my sorvete açaí. Oh, and before I forget, please subscribe and like this video because it helps me out a lot. See you next time. Ciao, ciao!